So this is Medic 18, stationed here at Broadway and Lucent with Tower 18. As you can see, it's a little bit bigger than most medic units, a 4-door medic unit versus just a 2-door medic unit. So, and then we have an EMT and paramedic on this rig all the time at least, and sometimes 2 paramedics. So we'll start out here just with the outside. In this compartment here, this allows us to get to our backboards, our pediatric kit that we have up here, and then as well as our suction devices down here. Back in this compartment back here, this is where all of my equipment is. So I have my own SCBA breathing apparatus, my bunker pants, helmet. I also have a thermal imager in here too that I use for fires, and then a dry chem extinguisher and our Knox box keys. We'll come around to the other side here. This is going to be the passenger side. Same kind of a thing. He'll have his SCBA here. He's got his wireline gear up there, as well as our swift water, and then he's got a set of irons there for forcible entry into fires. We got 2 compartments here for spare SCBA cylinders that we can use. And then in here, we have more of our swift water stuff in here, a set of cones, some extra mobilization for people with spinal injuries and that kind of stuff, and then a tube of flares too in case we need to put road flares out or something like that. And then this compartment is kind of cool because it actually goes all the way through, just like on the other side, and that's where our backboards are. And then we have our seat collars here, KED, and then some lockout stuff as well. So we can take a look at the inside now. So inside we got the power pram, which is pretty cool. Definitely is a back saver compared to the old style prams where you had to manually lift them up and put them in. So this will actually lift up for us, retract and take all the weight into the ambulance, and we don't have to really lift them at all as far as putting them in the ambulance. So it just slides out like this. The lift itself, it's got some arms that'll come down once the wheels are down. It senses that it's got weight on the wheels. Those arms will come down, and then we can unlock it and pull it out like that. And then to put it in, it's the same as the reverse. It'll click in here, lock in, and those arms underneath will come up, pick the whole pram up, and we just slide it in. Maybe. Sits in there like that. So in here, this is kind of like our office. It's set up with kind of a purpose in mind. So all of our airway stuff will be up here in this compartment here, which is where the attendant will sit and manage the patient's airway here. Then we have all of our IV stuff here. Some medications are in this compartment here, as well as some medications that are in this tackle box here that we give. This is our heart monitor. So this allows me to figure out if somebody's having an MI. It also allows me to synchronize cardio over somebody or defibrillate somebody to make their heart beat in a better way than where it was before. This is our orange jump kit that we use on every call, as well as our oxygen kit, so that comes in with us. And then on that compartment there is all of our trauma stuff there. Yeah, so this is the control panel for basically back here. So it allows me to control my lights above me. It allows me to control the temperature in here as well. So if I have like a hypothermic patient, I can crank the heat up in here and we'll all sweat, but they'll start to warm up, which is good for them. And then it also has it's got an exhaust fan that'll pull air out of here and push it out into the atmosphere, so that'll help too. And then up front, there's a similar panel like this, except it controls all of our emergency lights and then our scene lights as well. Yep, that's the same exact panel, except it's over there. So if I'm sitting here in the airway chair, I can control it from there. If I'm sitting here on the bench, I can control it there. So on the outside compartment where we were, where the backboards and stuff were, there's a big O2 cylinder that sits there. So it's strapped in so it won't go anywhere. But then that supplies all of these ports with oxygen so that I can give patients oxygen instead of just using our portable tanks as well. So it's a similar panel that we have back there, except this controls all the exterior lights and that kind of stuff. The red button is our emergency lights. And then this here is what we use to control our siren. So we can change the tones, change if it's just a single siren or if it's a dual siren. Because this medic's so long, it's hard for my partner to hear me back there. So we have an intercom that he can push on here, and it basically broadcasts back there so that I can hear him. We're getting close to the hospital and that kind of stuff. And then this is just similar to just your regular gear shifter on your regular car, except it's just push buttons instead of a shifter down. This rig's a little bit unique too. It's got air brakes on it instead of regular disc brakes. So we have a retarder on here that it works on the exhaust, and it'll start to slow the rig down for us before we even start hitting the brake because of how big it is and the air brakes that we have. So, and then we also have this here, changes the suspension of the rig to allow us to make the ride more comfy, make the ride more sporty, that kind of stuff. And then we also have, this is just the MDT. So this is what I use to map us to calls, receive calls, get notes on calls, and put us in quarters and in service and that kind of stuff. And then we have Megatron up here because we've kind of nicknamed this rig the Megatron since it's so big.